What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Read Reviews podcast. We talk about movies, TV shows, video games, and pretty much whatever the hell we want to talk about. This is Cody Ranson. Say hi, Cody.
Hello.
It's been a little bit since we've done the podcast. It's probably been almost 3 weeks since we've recorded. So
Yeah.
I just kind of want to get back into the swing of things. We have fun stuff to talk about that I wanted to go watch and then go talk about. But I don't know. July is just...
It's been busy.
Every fucking year in July is just the busiest month of the year.
Yeah.
4th of July always automatically takes up one weekend. And then we had our high school reunion 2 days ago, our 10-year high school reunion. So that is another event going on. Next weekend, I'm supposed to be going camping. I was initially going to go to San Francisco to try to go on a trip, but we canceled it. Whoa. So now we're going camping.
Still fun.
I don't think we have anything going on the last weekend of July, but July is just always super busy. So every year.
Yeah, there's just been a lot in the last couple of weeks for sure.
Yeah,
it's
been just
packed.
a lot going on. Even with the high school reunion, it was just a casual thing. I'm going to wipe off the camera a little bit here, but it was just a casual thing, and then we all kind of went out to the casino. And
Yeah.
Kind of,
I mean, I definitely
crazier.
Expected to do something after the fact, probably, just because people being in town and whatnot. But the casino's just so far from my place. So that's why we.
Yeah, the casino's
I was just like,
deep.
well, we're just Ubering, no matter what.
Yeah, I was never planning to stay out very long either. Like, it was always going to be a pretty short.
Yeah.
Like, I think I left at like midnight, and I think we all got there at like 9:30.
And I definitely I drink maybe once or twice a year. That was the day where I knew I was like, I plan to drink a little bit tonight, and so I definitely did.
He went in.
I definitely did. Had a case of the Sunday scaries I was telling you about, but it was just the poison in my body that I had to get rid of after the fact, and then I felt great.
You gotta let the demons out sometimes.
Needed just a day of rest, and then got back at it today at work, so we're good.
Yeah, it was fun. I was sad that I left early. It was my worst experience gambling I've ever had, I think.
I don't even try, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not even like I try. I mean, it's gambling, it's a thing of chance.
Yeah.
But like usually you go gambling, and even if you lose all your money, it's fun because you hang out, you drink for a little while.
Yeah.
Hang out with people at the table, get the excitement of like, oh yeah, here we go. You bet something big. Oh, you lose it or you win it, whatever. I just lost every single thing I did the entire time. And so I was like, this is just ass. For those of you that might know or not know, I played 30 hands of blackjack. So if you play blackjack, you get an idea what this is.
You counted?
I weigh it wasn't exactly 30. I'm averaging. I think it was probably more like in the high 20s. I think I'm exaggerating slightly. And I won 2. I do know for sure that I only won 2 hands.
Hell yeah.
And it sucked. There's one time, because there's this table where you push on 22. So if the dealer busts and they have 22, you push, which fucking sucks. Damn, is that doing that? I feel like it hasn't done it recently.
We haven't been here in a while.
I know, it's sad. And that happened to me 4 times in a row on my last hand, on my last like $15 that I had. And then the next one I just lost. I was like, God damn it, this is just fucking waste.
Sometimes it's just a sign to be like, yeah, it's not my day today, I guess.
It was more than just not my day. It was just fucking ass. I didn't even get a chance to like play around with some money and buy drinks with some tickets that I had. There's some chips that I had. It was terrible.
But the high school reunion was fun.
It was super fun. It was actually
a lot of people.
Dude, you know what's crazy?
Had multiple people talk and tell them that they watched.
I know.
Like that's easily that grouping of people is probably any of the people that watch this, or people we went to high school with that know us probably, and are 100%. Just like checking in on it and seeing what we say. So I definitely got a couple people that came up and were like, "I'm watching the podcast every time." And I'm like, "Whoa, okay, sweet,
thanks." I appreciate.
Now I'm more nervous, and I shouldn't be, but no, that's
never.
Cool.
Dude, you know what's kind of crazy is that I bet you we didn't even have like half of our class there. But
not even.
But it felt like we had so many.
Yeah, I don't know what the count was, if anyone like actually.
Yeah, I mean, by the time, because we took like a big class reunion picture, and by the time we did that, I think dozens of people had left.
Yeah, there was already people.
There were still probably 40, 50, 60 people in the picture.
Yeah, no, it was a good turnout, let alone with everyone's like significant others and spouses and stuff, or kids and stuff. Like, just feels like way more. And it's still an open public place. So, like, there was just other people hanging out. And
just watching us just beat up.
Towards the end, Figon came over and was definitely like, dude, all these people hate us right now when we were trying to take that picture. And I watched as like there was one old lady who was just standing up, just eyeballing all of us as we tried to get ready for that picture.
She's probably reminiscent.
There was like a live band playing, and we were definitely all like pretty like getting buzzed and like chatting it up.
Yeah, it'd
been
a couple hours at that point.
And like reminiscing and stuff, but everyone was kind of loud, and there's just a congregation of like 50 plus in this one spot, and it was like chaotic for that second, but no, it was.
And we had to go take the picture over by where everybody was.
I know. It was hilarious. It was funny. I was getting a kick out of it.
Yeah, it was fun. But we won't take too long because I want to talk about the two things, and we're going to talk about them in the orders that we watched them. So first thing that we watched.
F1.
Yeah, F1.
Yeah, I had to think about that.
Blended together.
I really had to think about that because it has been a couple weeks now. So.
Well, yeah, when we did the last podcast, we were talking about let's go see F1, and that was like the kind of the game plan I think for the next thing to talk about. And so we went and saw F1. God, that was probably 10 days ago now. At this point, a week and a half, probably
at least.
Yeah, and we went and saw it in Dolby. And I don't know, well, let's just dive into overall thoughts, and we'll start with you, kind of what you thought about F1. I know that one's more in the past of the other movies.
But I mean, I actually do have to kind of dig to remember.
You have to dig to remember because it's a super action-heavy movie that is like, you're not going into it for the story. I don't remember what the fuck the story was. I don't really care. You're going to just go off of like the good experience because you're not going to remember super well.
It was more about like, I thought it was just going to be cool, sound cool, and it was like the director who did Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
And so going in was like, oh, okay. So instead of like being in the fighter jet, now you're just in the cars, like of the F1 car. You're literally like in the cockpit with them. And you're just like the amount of shots you get to see that are really cool. I think like the best parts of the movie are easily all the racing, like, which is good. It's F1. Mm-hmm. That's what you're there to see. And
there's a lot of it.
There's a ton of it. I think that's
thank God.
Yes, that was so I guess to get it out of the way, my only real gripe with it is it's long. Like
it's too long.
What, 2.5 hours?
Yeah, I think it's just over 2.5 hours.
So by the end, I was definitely at a point where I was like, man, I just want to stand up a little bit, but like no, I still think it does
2:35.
2:30. Yeah. So. Yeah. I still think it does good stuff with all the time that it takes. It probably could have been like 15, 20 minutes shorter, maybe. I don't know. But even then, I still enjoyed the whole thing. I thought it was super good. I thought it was really entertaining. I think I like the story plot lines that I'm starting to remember as I think about it. But instead of it being like one of the other teams has a enemy like rival racer they're going against, I like the dynamic of like in team you're watching this team of like F1 drivers. They'll have to learn how to work together. Is like that's kind of the plot of what's really happening in the background. Is you're not everyone's kind of butting heads at the start. It's about cool old guy Brad Pitt, who is still like one of the coolest dudes acting, I think.
62.
Like, he oozes just cool.
Yeah, he's cool. He's a cool guy.
I think like I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He could probably be saying the most corny, ham-fisted stuff at times, but like the way he says it, I'm like, all right, okay, I believe you. Dude. Like that's pretty sick. But he nails, I think, his character of like the old school driver who you learn more about his story and his past of what he does, and he's like his whole thing is like he loves racing. Like he loves
what's he call it? Flying.
Yeah, that's like actually, you saying that brings me to one of the like good moments that I think is a poignant like message that I kind of like connected with for sure. Was a lot of his thing is like he just loves racing because he hits that like when he's in the race and he knows like he's got it under control, and you kind of hit like that Zen flow state where like nothing else matters. And you know exactly what you need to do and what is going to happen. It's like nothing can stop you. And like I can only connect with that from like a music perspective with drumming, where there is, I've said it before, 100%. There is moments of like when I'm playing with the guys, and we're not saying or communicating anything verbally. We're just jamming or playing, and there is 100% a flow state where like tunnel vision kind of happens in a good way. Where like you're just blocking out all the BS around you, and all you do is hone in on what's going on, and you go autopilot. I'm not thinking. It's just like your body's just so used to doing this thing that you've practiced, that you put the hard work and effort in over the years, time and time and time again, to really hone in a skill, and you can finally like let your body just do it naturally. And the less you think about it, the better you do. As soon as you like understand or like try to go like, I don't know, outside of it, it's gone. And I can like, it's the weirdest thing, but I 100% totally was like, that is very true. I totally understand like what he's meaning when you like, you have that passion for something. That's like drumming or music is one of the few things I've found in life that I have that kind of a passion for, I think, where it's like this unspoken nature of like, you can't, it's weird. Like the whole scene is him. He's like nervous to tell her because he can tell like, I'm going to sound like an idiot when I say this because it's weird, but this is what it is.
Emotional, vulnerable man.
But I'm going to be a little vulnerable and try to just say it in any way I can. And I thought that was really cool. I think that helps, like, his character is way cooler for it. The guy he's, like, going up against within the company, it's like if you know F1 or racing, like, there's always teams. You're racing in teams. And so there's going to be 2 drivers, like, I think at least at most times on the court, like, out in the race.
I didn't even know that.
But, like, it's definitely team setups and things at times. There could be different division. I don't know enough. But I have seen some racing, like F1 races, to know, like, they definitely have team setups where, like, using your positions and stuff is all, like, strategy and things. And the guy he's going up against is, like, the new young guy. He's, like, Instagram selfies and getting on social media, flexing his chains.
Everything's fake.
Yeah, it's just, like, super, like...
Putting on a pose.
He's not really in it for, like, the racing, potentially, but he's really talented. And you're watching over the course of the movie, Brad Pitt's kind of this mentor, or trying to be in a way that's not stepping on his toes, to teach him to be like, you gotta focus more on what is happening here. You're getting lost in all the other stuff. And I thought that dynamic between them was super good too. Like, I enjoyed most of what was given from all the characters. There's, like we said, racing is awesome. There's even some like really intense moments, like super intense.
Also some confusingly intense ones where like so obviously spoiler things, I know.
Spoilers.
Spoilers now. We do nothing. But when the kid crashes, I'm like, oh, he dies, and that's
it is intense. Like that crash was crazy. I remember because, dude, do you remember our theater went dead silent, and there was literally a lady behind us. She was like, "No, no."
There was a lady in the theater.
No, for like a minute where it's silent, and they're really holding on. Like Brad Pitt's running to the car, getting like he's the first one there, helping to try and get him out. Everyone's panicked, and you're like, he's dead. Like, with that crash. I don't know how you live through that, but I've also seen some F1 real crashes. I don't know how these guys walk out, but they do have new safety things I've learned through reading. Like the halo is, I think, the circle top part that sits above their head. That is now, like, I think it's like a safety requirement for every car because of the amount of things that's saved, where if you flip, that thing does not budge, and so your head will like not bounce around on the frickin' road.
It's just insane.
It's wild.
And I guess maybe if there's anybody that watches F1 out there and knows what the fuck is going on here and how he doesn't die. But the crash is so gruesome and so insane. I'm like, oh, they are playing this for this guy to die. And then he just burns his hands and then he gets healed in like 4 weeks and then he's good. And I was like, okay, all right. That
you can't
totally changed what I thought was happening.
As I'm thinking about it, it's probably in the best interest of the movie named F1 to not be showing that and then being like, our cars are not good enough to save you from this.
Yeah,
they need to be good enough to save you from that, because what I just saw, now I'm like, dang, these cars must be fucking invulnerable. Like, you can do anything. But honestly, go watch a couple real F1 crashes, and there are plenty out there to be like, oh my God, he's dead. And you watch the guy walk out. And you're like, what the hell?
And I know, and I'm not surprised that like he doesn't get burned or anything, because I wasn't thinking in the moment like he all gets burned alive, because I know about the fire retardant suits that like work.
They have
you can just sit in fire.
They have a ton of safety stuff just because of knowing these cars are traveling like, aren't they like 250 to 300 miles an hour that they're going or something?
I don't think they don't go 300.
I don't even know, but like
either way, they go well over.
That's like your average speed on an F1 race is like in the 200s. Okay, so like any crash at that speed, you're dead. Like, unless you build this thing and have insane levels of safety that they've clearly done, and it's a very big sport now, and people love watching it.
It's such an expensive sport too, because I remember seeing that the average budget for an F1 team is like 120 to 150 million.
Isn't that part of the reason this took so long to make? Was probably, I think it would make sense, like all the branding that's in this. Every single car is decked out in their real like branding stuff. So I wonder how much money or like what that looks like in a process to be like, you have to get every single thing like legally, I don't know, rights and access to just putting it on screen. And they actually have like real F1 drivers. I was telling you, like Max Verstappen's in there.
Yeah.
What's his name's in there? I can't even think of. Oh my gosh, he's like just as big as him.
But something I was going to bring up earlier when you were saying, you're like, oh, I love that it's the dichotomy between the two racers on the same team.
Yeah.
And we do see them in the cameo and like the interview thing or whatever, or like whenever we see the racers, like just they're kind of in the background. They don't really say anything. Like, do they even have lines? I don't think so.
I don't think you really hear anything from any other team.
Like
a couple times.
Which is cool and what delves in more to like not making this too big and too overwhelming, especially for people like you and me, more so me, that don't watch F1 at all and don't know anything.
Only seen a few things, really, so I'm not much.
But even when they're showing in the cockpit and how we're talking about the cockpit, from them talking to each other and like really feeling, because they're in these cars when they're driving. It's actually happening just like with the Jets and Top Gun Maverick. It's awesome.
Sick.
When they cut over to the other drivers, they don't show their faces. They don't show them talking. Everything, it's like darkened out, and like the camera work shows that you don't see them. So like you feel that there's tension between the other racers, and like they're just referred to as Ferrari, and they're just referred to as McLaren or whatever
the other team is.
Yeah, they don't really. I mean, I'm sure they say their names, so like you don't acknowledge that. You're like, oh, they're out to beat Ferrari and whoever because they're the top people. You don't see who the driver is because you're supposed to be caring about Brad Pitt and whoever that younger actor guy is, and you do, which is really surprising in one of these really dedicated, just straight up action movie. Because, like we were saying before, there's plenty of racing in it, and there's probably 5 or 6 full set racing scenes and racing moments. Not even counting the montages.
They did at least with a 2.5 hour movie labeled F1. You get a lot of F1 in different locations at different courses and races, which was easily some of the that's all I was there to see initially. So
and that it always annoys me, and I think I just had the wrong expectation when I went in to go see that Napoleon movie with Joaquin Phoenix.
I never saw that.
I didn't like it that much. Like, I mean, I thought it was good. I thought it was serviceable, like, for what I ended up really realizing the movie was, like, 3/4 of the way when I was watching it. But I was going in to watch Napoleon fuck shit up and see him have these awesome epic battles and how he's such a... and what made him so amazing by showing his strategy. There's really only one really cool fight, though, by the way. We'll say, where he lures this enemy army onto a frozen lake and shoots cannonballs around them to make them sink in the lake. It's really fucking cool.
Nice.
That's what I thought I was going in to see that movie in. There's like two battles in that 2+ hour long movie. And I was like, God damn it. Because the director, and I forget who it was because he's a really well-known director for it, was just going for a totally different kind of thing. Like, there's comedic beats. They were making him seem like an idiot, which, I mean, I don't have any ties to Napoleon. I don't give a shit about that. Some people were butthurt about that. But I just wanted to go in and see cool action, cool fight scenes, and see what made Napoleon so terrifying back in the day. And there's only like 2 fights in it. So that's why it was so refreshing going into this movie. It's like, okay, this F1 movie actually does have a shit ton of F1 racing in it.
A lot.
And it comes straight, like, also, if you go see this movie, it should still be in theaters, I think. I don't know. Movies are turning out of theaters so fast.
Yeah, it'll be on streaming in like a couple weeks, probably.
But if you can, go see this movie in Dolby, see it in IMAX, because this is one of those ones where it's okay to get your ears blown out for 2.5 hours. Because it's fucking awesome, and you feel it.
When they go
the intro jumps straight into it.
Yeah, when they're racing, and you just, it's not music. I think that's where I'm so sold on all the racing.
Very small amount.
There's like, you're not listening to a soundtrack while they're racing. You are hearing just engines and comms between team and racers. It's like, this is what it is. You're in the seat, kind of. You're going
feel
along.
the stress of
Man, they get shots like from where you're just looking like on the hood of the car going straight ahead. It's like, look how fast we're going. Then they'll hit you with a shot of like inside where you can see maybe the driver's head and even behind them. And you can see how fast these cars can make in a millisecond, they can make a direct turn to be on your outside edge or your inside. Like, seeing that in real time as you're inside, I was like, this is scary. Like, one little mistake in like this kind of an environment is how you die. Like, that's why it's so crazy. These dudes are going so fast. Any margin of error is like detrimental to the whole race or yourself.
Even the drone shots, I don't know for sure if they're actually drones or not.
No, I mean,
but those shots, they're not like super high like eagle view, but they're more like or not even third person, maybe third. No, because it's more zoomed out than third person. It's like middle of like eagle and third person view, and that's where you really see, because you're not too far away. to where like you can't see the precise little turns that you're making, but you're down close enough to where you see them turn. You're like, holy shit! And you're just thinking about. Like I think about the couple of times I've been a dumbass and I've been hauling ass in a car and I'm taking a turn at like 60.
Yeah.
And I'm like just like pushing my face over and they're doing one at 180 going around this turn.
Yeah.
And they're going and I'm like, fuck. Well, they have to train for G-force.
I was gonna say that when you see the videos of how they do the neck training and stuff, where they put like a thing on their head and it's just pulling.
His workout where he's on the bed.
Yeah, he does a workout. Brad Pitt just does a workout. He just literally sideways with head
planking on the
side planking with head on bed just to like kill his neck.
Yeah.
But that stuff's crazy when you see how fast, and like you're saying, take a turn a little too fast on like, anywhere from, I don't know, depending on the turn, it's like 45 to 60 miles an hour. You're going to feel that like, okay, a little fast. Like you feel that, I don't know, for me, it's like you get a little stress or like that. There's like a fear all of a sudden that can kick in when driving a car and you're like, whoa, that was a little scary. God, just imagine going 200 some miles an hour and then flipping and blowing up.
So I have to bring this up before I forget because so the owner of my dealership and the general manager of my dealership, that one of them has a 2024 Mustang GT500, which if you don't know is a beast of a car. It's got like 700 and some horsepower, and he supercharged it so it has 1,000 horsepower. My owner. And then my general manager bought a 2025 Mustang Dark Horse track pack. So that's only got like 550 horsepower. And relative, that's still a fuck ton of horsepower, but relative to the other one, it's got like half. And they took it out and rented out, or I don't know if they rented out, but like you can pay for a thing to drive it around the speedway out there, and they'll have a driver drive with you and teach you and show you how to drive it.
That would be so fun.
Dude, I know.
That would be so fun.
But he bought the track pack, my general manager, so he has the track pack wheels on it, the track pack suspension, and I believe bigger brakes on it as well too. And he was taking it out there and just him talking about driving it and how much fun it is, and these things are probably half as much as the F1 cars.
Yeah.
But he was telling me about how they took those cars. By the way, my owner of the dealership who has the car with 1,000 horsepower couldn't really take it around the track like the other guy because there's just too much fucking horsepower. Yeah. Just squirreling out the whole time. But my general manager was telling me how he was down at I believe like Ford probably brought him down there when they were doing the F1 race in Las Vegas when they were also filming this movie. So he got to see them do laps around it, filming the movie on it. And I was like, that's dope, dude. You should go see it because it was
yeah, go check out
that's what I told him.
Yeah, go check it out. You can see where you were.
It was fucking awesome. And it's so crazy. And I mean, in the future we'll see it with the AI stuff and how good it gets and all that. But it's just crazy how you cannot be just actually doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like even and I know it wasn't great, but when we went and saw Thunderbolts, like you could tell that they put a bit of more effort after getting bitched at for all the CG nonsense and all the bullshit Marvel's been doing lately. That they did some real stuff. Granted, this is a more grounded one other than the main bad guy of Thunderbolts. So it's a lot less people with actual superpowers, so you have to do more grounded stuff.
Yeah.
But like Florence Pugh actually jumping off the building, actually doing the choreography in the movie, like you can feel it and you can tell. The John Wick stuff.
Yeah.
We always talk about that. Like you could just tell when it's real and you can feel it. It makes you more ingrained in the movie, especially when you're watching in the movie theater. And that's why Top Gun Maverick and this F1 movie, which is doing really well, which is fucking awesome to see. So I like that people actually go out and see these too. You could just tell the difference, and it is so much fun to watch. You could just feel it, and I love it. That's why I was so excited to see this.
It totally makes sense to get the Top Gun Maverick guy. Yeah, I don't even know his name. I can't think of it. But
I'll look it up and see here.
But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It is still a bit long at times, I think, but still really liked it.
Joseph Kosinski?
Cool.
I don't know.
Now that I know that, I'll forget it again. So,
one thing I didn't like, and this is just stupid story stuff that I thought was done. They're very minor things. I don't think like this movie's still one of the better movies I've seen this year. I think because movies have just been bad this year.
Yeah, I kept trying to think of stuff we've seen, and I need to do a better job. Just go back and watch our stuff.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought of what I was saying with it. My little minor complaint stuff about a story, I guess. The way that he, like, teaches the kid and, like, makes him get better is just by cheating. You know? He's just literally running shit over. Yeah. Running shit over to make people pull over so that
he keeps bringing the safety car out, which requires everyone, like, if you do something, like, they got to clear the whole track for. and you got to make sure you bring a safety car out, so it forces everyone's pace to come down to the same level for at least one lap to get stuff cleared out. And now it's a way different grid at the next lap, so it's like a lot of Brad Pitt's character was like, hey, look, you guys are struggling, right? Like, you're about to get bankrupted. Like, this thing's a whole shit show. I'm here to save you, right? We're going to have to pull all the stops, basically. Like, they might not like us, and guess what? I think I like him kind of understanding his role, too, where he's like,
he's the goon of F1.
I'm not here to be the guy. I'm actually here to make him the guy.
Mm-hmm.
He is the guy, and I'm going to figure out a way to make him realize that, get serious about it, even if it makes me look like I'm already the butt of the joke. I get it. I think that's what I get from his character, too, is he definitely understands his role as like, look, I'm already the down and out guy. Everyone's already kind of shitting on me as soon as I get here because I'm old and blah, 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 my past that you learn more about. And it's like, he just accepts it and is like, let's roll with it. I'll take it.
What does... And I'm trying to think back on this, and maybe I just don't remember, or maybe it wasn't in the movie, but like, how does he make... I mean, other than him giving him the kid the confidence, I guess, is that all it does? Is like just giving him showing him that he can win or whatever. But also, is he even showing him that he can win if he's just like cheating and kind of rigging the game to get him to win?
But it's not... No, I don't think... The moral still comes down to the only way this team wins is it's a team. It's not about you. It's not
right,
about
he does
me.
get everybody running, and then he gets the guy running.
I was gonna say the running scenes I actually really like.
Yeah,
because
I did too.
It's a good like hit home every the fourth time you see it, and you're like, you feel good. Like it's like hell yeah, he's finally leading the runs. He gets it. Like you're getting a whole team together on the same page. We're all one unit. This isn't about me. This isn't about you. This is about us. Yeah. Like we have to be in this 100% together if this is gonna work at all. And it can be. I think, if anything, at times it can get a little tropey or cliche sometimes, but I really think that's the only way this movie works, is you got to follow a pretty, like, strong story that can't just fall apart easily. Like, this is just, it's hard to go wrong.
I think they had good taste doing it, though, because I was about to also say, and I was like, I mean, I guess the only other option than him doing the weird cheating thing and running stuff over is to just do the normal trope where he's like, you got to be better than this, or where they get in a fight and then they like come together and they do that in this movie. But they also have a couple of different aspects sprinkled in with stuff like that to make it not quite as normal tropey, I guess. Like,
well, and Brad Pitt's character, Lord knows what their names are in the movie.
No,
could not tell you. I could not remember that.
Maybe we'd remember right after, but not a
do not know who they are. And but like his whole thing of showing the kid like. It does don't listen to any of the BS out there. You're too invested. Like, don't listen. Stop. That doesn't matter. This matters. Being in the car. So like he's going out and at the press conferences, people are chewing him out, and he's just kind of like whatever. But he still shows face. I think it's all about like Brad Pitt showing him like, look, man, I'm out here doing the runs, and I'm gonna get the team together. If you want to come, you can. But I'm also never gonna put you down in a way that you haven't deserved. Because the kid's kind of a shithead at the start and does some stupid says some dumb things at the presser just to kind of be cocky and like show off a little. And immediately Brad Pitt's like, don't fucking do that shit. That's not cool. Yeah. Like, that's not how this works. He's immediately on board to be like, you just get on board with me. He's definitely aggressive in his own way about it. But I always definitely believed he had a point, I guess. Like, he always made sure to back himself up with, ooh, I busted the first car that we had, but I cut some time off. There's ways we can figure this out. And then like getting obviously the romantic thing with the girl and getting into like the car design stuff. But like there was elements of like trying to make this car a little better some way or like figure out different things. And I like the mantra of, just like we got to work as a unit. In the end, the only way this works is if we are 100% on the same page with everyone. And until that kid understands that he has the potential and owns up to his own mistakes, which he in the movie has a pivotal point. This was maybe the one time where it's like, I guess I was invested in a pivotal race. There's a moment where Brad Pitt's character is telling him, like, the kid's at the front has an opportunity to pass. And it's not at the right moment. And Brad Pitt tells him, it's not at this moment. It's at, like, another turn. But the kid just sees open space, and he's like, nah, I'm doing it. And then me, like, watching, I was like, no. You You know what's gonna happen.
And then I thought he fucking died.
And then he fucks it up, and he fucks the race up because he tried to do that and almost kills himself. And the mom even blames Brad Pitt and thinks he told him to do that. And Brad Pitt does not admit that that's not what happened. He's just like, all right,
kid's gonna have to own up to this.
He'll figure this out on his own. But I'm not gonna get myself invested right here. Like, this isn't my part. This is not for me to do. I'm gonna let that be on him. And until he comes around to the moment of realizing, like, fuck, I could have fucked that up. And you get like a sick montage moment too of like the kid now going in to do like all of Brad Pitt's exercises that he's been doing, and like
the ball toss.
Yeah, the ball toss stuff, like going back to basic stuff of just like screw the crazy high tech stuff. Maybe old dude throwing tennis balls is doing something. Like, I don't know.
The dichotomy of him just running and throwing the balls and him doing all his crazy breathwork stuff with the oxygen mask on. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Tropey as hell, but it was fun.
Yeah, like old dude is just classic as hell, does all old school stuff, and the new kid uses all the cool high tech stuff. They were like, Brad Pitt never tries to do it his way, but he didn't need to show him that it's not the way it's gonna work. So I don't know what. I'm still debating on a final score for it too. I don't know why.
It's I don't know. Scores are always hard because like you start thinking about other movies that you compare them to, but they're such different movies that so it's like hard to compare them like that. But I'd say like you got to just kind of go by how much you enjoyed watching it. And I had a really good time watching this in the theater. I'd say it's like an 8 out of 10.
I was just gonna say I was gonna say 8.
Yeah, I just like I would go back and see this movie in theaters. Like I had a good time.
And I felt like a lot of the reviews I was seeing, they were in the like 9 and 10s.
Yeah,
like
it's too high.
And I was
it's
like,
just not.
Yeah, coming out, I definitely was like, it was good. It was really good, but I don't think it's like the next best movie I've ever seen or anything.
I think Top Gun Maverick kind of like revolutionized modern cinema and what you can do and like to the level you can go. And F1 just did it on a smaller scale.
What would you rather watch?
Probably Top Gun.
I'd
have to.
Yeah.
I don't really remember Top Gun Maverick that well. Again, it's
one of
those super action movies. I had a great time.
I'm telling you, I only need to watch that movie to see like a couple scenes because they're so good.
Yeah, this
and
the
fucking
scene.
the test run of Tom Cruise coming in made like Class Session, and he just rips through the course, and they're like, he just crushed the time. And everyone's like, holy shit.
They're the exact same fucking movies. They're the exact same movies.
And there's
so fun.
I think maybe there's something about the fighter jet. Like, I'll never, ever in my life be able to be doing what Top Gun Maverick does. Now, I'm not saying I could also be an F1 driver, but there's a reality in that I drive a car, and I've been in a fast car at some point in my life. Not that fast, not on that course, no.
Yeah.
But that's more than like sitting in a commercial airline is not sitting in a fighter jet. Like, I could never have that experience. And I think that's maybe why I like Top Gun more.
Fighter jets are just cool.
And they're just fucking cool.
They're just cooler.
And it definitely is cliche as the movie gets towards the end, where it's clearly just like
American military propaganda.
Yeah, like so much like just political stuff getting kind of put in for the sake of it at times. But it like I'm kind of in. Yeah. I think it kind of helps where I'm like, this is Top Gun Maverick. What the hell else would it have been?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. We still get a fucking volleyball scene, which was
but I mean, I think that movie just hit such high highs where I like seriously that did kind of like have a revolution in the movie scene at like post-COVID era where it was like oh man,
it was one of the first movies
it purposely done to be like the movies are back with Top Gun Maverick, and it was like
made $1 billion.
I really have not heard a single person I've talked to who's watched that and not been like, dude, that was really good,
because it appeals to everybody. If you want an interesting story, if you want to go to see awesome cinema, if you want to just go watch dumb action that doesn't really make sense, it's great.
It's something. It's all that. But props to the director, the Kaczynski guy, of being able to know like. I guess with today's day and age, it's cool, I guess, with the tech we have with like the cameras and the way we can just actually film things with better cameras and stuff that can hold up, and they know how to put these things in the actual plane, in the car, and just have you be in there.
Or just even be able to get to the point where you can get crackheads like Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt, it seems like, to just drive a fucking F1 car or a fighter jet.
I mean, like, I don't know.
And I know they're in there with like other dudes or like however it works, and they're not driving at full speeds or blah blah blah, whatever it is, but you still feel it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't fucking matter. Great movie. Go watch it. Let's move on to the next movie. Superman. James Gunn's Superman 2025. This is there's a lot going into this movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and 3.
I'm still unpacking this movie so much. I went and watched his Suicide Squad movie yesterday.
Did you really?
I did. Again, I've already seen it, but I rewatched it just because I was like, I needed something. I wanted to see a different James Gunn thing again, and be like, I'll let that simmer, I guess, just for a second. I don't even want to go into much.
James Gunn, director of Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and 3.
Love.
Suicide Squad, the second one, not the really bad one.
Also, I think a really good movie.
Yeah. Peacemaker, which apparently is really good. I haven't seen it.
I at least started it and was really enjoying it.
Yeah, I've heard it's fucking
John Cena,
sneaky, really awesome.
John Cena is so good as Peacemaker. And seeing him was definitely a highlight.
And then another animated show called Creature Commandos. He's got a couple of horror movies too. I forget what they're called from back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, like before Guardians and stuff.
Oh.
I forget what movies they are, but
Guardians might be my favorite Marvel stuff.
Guardians is probably the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. I think is the best trilogy in all of Marvel.
I will never forget at least seeing the first one and going in being like, whatever, and I walked out going, that was actually really good.
It made you care about a fucking tree and a raccoon.
I was like, that had a dicing of something else that all the other ones didn't have at that point, and I loved it.
It was before the comedy trope in Marvel movies really got overdone.
And James Gunn does do a pretty cool soundtrack to most of his movies. So he has the thing for music that I definitely like. I love the stuff he's putting into the scenes usually.
He gets the dichotomy of sweet moments and emotional moments with like the comedic beats, at least in the Guardians movies. Yeah. With the right amount of it, because you go into it and you're like, oh, it is a comedy movie. It's a comedy action movie. But there are moments, especially in like the second movie, that will make you tear up or cry, or depending on how invested you are in it, and he will tug at those emotional heartstrings. I just did this. Sorry, guys. My bad. They'll tug it.
I mean, that is a tug.
And so James Gunn, I wouldn't go as far to say I'm a James Gunn stan, but I fucking love James Gunn. I think everything that he puts out is really good. Literally everything that I know and that I've watched from him. And from what most people say for the most part about him. Like, at least for the more modern movies, I don't really know about his older ones, but clearly they got him somewhere. I like James Gunn as a person. I think he's got a good character. He's a really big comic book nerd, which is why I was really excited for him to take over the DC universe. Or the DC universe, because there's DC expanded universe and there's DC universe is what the current thing is. Yeah.
No more.
Well, it's okay. It's okay to distinguish it because it's a completely different thing now. It's supposed to be a reset, and that leads us into Superman, which is supposed to be technically Creature Commandos and Peacemaker are inside of him, or inside the universe. But this is the first big major blockbuster of James Gunn's DCU.
It would be like the Iron Man equivalent.
Yes.
Ish.
Definitely, because Hulk came out before Iron Man, even though it's technically in the same universe. But Iron Man is the
Iron
kickoff.
Man was the kickoff to the thing.
Iron Man was the kickoff. So that's what this movie is, and those are the expectations, and those are the hype levels built into this movie. Those are always going to be hard highs to hit. I had very high expectations going into this movie. Probably too high, and I think I knew that the entire time going into it. I thought that the trailers were fucking awesome. I thought that the trailers were exactly what I was looking for going into like a DCU change up and what I needed, because I wanted a little bit more.
I really like the trailers.
Yeah, the trailers are awesome, and I wanted a bit more of a. It sucks to say because Marvel's so fallen off, but I wanted a bit more of a Marvelization of DC. I don't know, that sounds kind of hypocritical and ironic to say because it's weird because like I just said, we've been bitching so much about those. That's literally me saying I want more of the same.
Yeah, but I want the good parts of Marvel.
Yes, exactly.
To be the good parts of I want them to figure out what they were doing right, take a little bit of that, but sprinkle in their own flavor, which is usually supposed to be the more I don't know, with their characters, it always has seemed like they're a bit more grounded or gritty or dark at times, usually.
Yeah, and just not well fleshed out and not enough movies, blah, blah, blah. We don't have to go into all that stuff. And so I went and watched this movie with my super high expectations, and I came out, and I thought it was good. It was not great. Like, I was really convinced it was going to be. It was not amazing. Like, I was really convinced it was going to be. Like, I was thinking this movie was going to be a fucking 9 out of 10. This movie's probably like a 7.5 for me. Also being a superhero guy and being invested in that stuff and loving James Gunn, and again, not being quite a stan, but I do like James Gunn a lot, so I'm just going to be a little bit more biased towards him. And me just being excited about a new universe starting and all these things happening. Since we're doing this kind of late, I've already gone through my whole binge of like watching everybody's reviews and everybody's opinions on it. And it's kind of I think I came out of the theater. My opinion hasn't changed much. I think I came out of the theater thinking I just watched an 8 out of 10 movie, and I was like, I thought this movie was great. I had a pretty good time. I had a really good time watching it. I liked everything that was happening. I know there was a lot going on. One of the big things about it that we'll talk about. And I maybe have come down a little bit and settled my score, I think, at like a 7.5. For a multitude of reasons, but we'll get into it and talk about it. But yeah, it's, and Kind of Funny made a good point, because I was watching their review of it, and I was like, because you can't start a universe that you're going to build with a Dark Knight. The reason being, you can't start a universe with a 10 out of 10 movie, because then where do you have to go from there? Down. You can only go down. You can't get better. I mean, it's a weird kind of train of thought, and I know it's a cop-out. I get it. I understand that. But it does make sense. Like, you can't just... This movie is what it is because it needs to be a setup for a universe, and it has to have so much going on. And you can't really do it like you did normally, like you tried to with the DC originally, and you can't do it like you originally did with Marvel, because it's just going to be too slow. People are just over that. They're burnt out. You have to kind of jump into it. You kind of have to just bite the bullet a little bit, I think. And I know these are all excuses for it not being like a great movie. But I do think that makes sense. You have to set a foundation somewhere, and it happens to be the Superman movie. But at the end of the day, we'll get to your thoughts here. I still thought this movie was really good. I had a really good time, and I would recommend going to see it in theaters, definitely, because I want to support this and at least give it a chance to see where it goes. I still have pretty high hopes for it. I'm excited, and especially seeing how he can formulate a universe, because he's done it good with the Guardians movie, so I think there's still a lot of potential, but this movie was definitely did not live up to my expectations. What did you think?
Not a superhero guy.
Yeah.
But after seeing the trailers, I liked the trailers, and I was like, hey, this looks pretty cool. And I definitely, as a kid growing up in America, Superman's one of the like few superheroes who's like plastered all over. I feel like it's hard not to know.
Superman, Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's hard not Wolverine. To know Superman, so I can at least be like, hey, I know that guy more than I know, what was the Marvel movie? Thunderbolts?
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't even know if those are real comic book characters, are they? Or like, do those characters have their own thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way. I know Superman a lot more, so I'm like, all right, cool. I kind of I understand kryptonite and stuff, and like kind of what Superman's about, more or less.
That's why the first one's Superman.
Yeah, it's like
get butts in there.
It helps. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I went in with high expectations. I definitely was like, superhero like movie. I don't really think much going in. I'm just gonna let it happen.
Something that's not Marvel. Something a little different.
Yeah, something not Marvel. I guess I'm coming off probably the last superhero movie I saw would have been Captain America.
No, I think it's Thunderbolts.
I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, Captain America is probably the last actual superhero anything I saw, and what did I give that, a 5?
I think so.
I think I gave that a 5.
You said it was mid.
So that's where I'm like kind of trying to take a reference point. And then, like I said, I also just watched James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie last night, because I wanted a refresher on how he does his thing. He's now done it many times, which we were just talking about. Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad, and now this new DC thing with Superman and a lot of other people. What James Gunn is usually really good at is the ensemble team, a lot of different characters with different personality types, all playing off one each other. Like, everyone has their own little jabs at someone.
People you don't know, you don't care about it at all in the beginning. It's just fucking...
Yeah, and you're just kind of you're usually tossed in. There's a lot happening, but he actually makes you kind of give a shit, and you start to like the characters. You start to learn more. After watching Suicide Squad, I was like, man, I really like this movie. Like, I remember liking it, and I really think this is good. Like,
such a stark contrast.
Really, and again, R rated is doing a lot for that, but only with like the group dynamics. I was like, why does this just feel way different than Superman? I don't know what it is, but like, my gripes, I think, with the movie just come from, I don't know if I can get on board with the whole, like, it can't be a 10 out of 10 experience at the get-go for some of those reasons where I'm like, I think the first Iron Man's really good.
Yeah.
And not saying this isn't trying to do that because that wasn't a huge group of people. It was just Iron Man.
Yeah.
But in terms of setting yourself up for success, there's a lot going on in this movie at times that takes away from, like, I'm struggling, I think, with the superhero universe stuff where I just went to watch Superman, right? That was like...
It's not a Superman.
It's not a Superman movie. It's not.
It is. It is.
But it isn't.
It is majority Superman, but it's not like...
Like, I think you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
kind of. Just, yeah, it's like I went in thinking... I don't know. What I got from all the other characters was taking away from what I wish I wanted more of, which was like more Superman. I really like I like Superman and Lois. I thought was good, really good, like their chemistry and stuff, and like the couple scenes you get with them, I think were good. And then, like I was saying too, like I guess it's probably dumb of me to be the guy who's like, I just want Superman beating people up, but I mean, the times when we got it, I was like, yes, sweet, we're doing it. This is cool. But then it kind of cuts back right when it started to feel like it would really get good, and then it'd be like, and we drop that off now.
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, everything felt like it was pulling punches at times, and it's like, no, I kind of wish we weren't. But it's not that I hate it. I'm gonna definitely, as I usually do with superhero movies, come off like I hate it, but I don't.
If it's a mid movie or less, then it's always going to come off cynical and like we don't.
Yeah, because that's just how. And like I said, so I'm trying to reference back to Captain America. This is better than Captain America.
Yeah.
So in my mind, though, I still think, like, just to get my number out there, I think I said a 6 when we were at the theater, and I've said that before now. Mm-hmm. I probably can still settle with a 6, but it's getting scarier to drop almost. And I don't know why, but it's like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I'm not too excited, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm excited for. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's next. I don't know what keeps going after this or like where they're planning to go.
Yeah, even the end credit scene that we didn't see really didn't tell us much.
There was
obviously the mid one that we watched didn't tell us anything.
Absolutely.
Did you watch both?
Was there another one actually after?
There's always like an end one. What? Never mind. That's not true. That's not an accurate statement. But there's usually like one after the animated credit scenes. Yeah. And then there's one after
all the credits.
Yeah, and I'm done with staying for those scenes. Unless it, I don't know. And especially apparently because it was a very underwhelming one. I was like, God, dude, if you're going to be keeping people for the entire credits now, you have to hit us with a banger.
Yeah, it has to be actually enticing.
Yeah,
and even
apparently it wasn't. I already forgot what
But that's the thing, too. I think it was telling where we saw that first end credit scene, and it's literally just Krypto and Superman on the moon looking at Earth for a couple seconds. That's it. Not doing, I don't know if they were doing, couldn't tell you, but as soon as that ended, we all were like, all right, we're out.
Yeah, I wasn't waiting. Well, another thing I think did hinder me watching it is we went to a late-ass movie. And
it was late.
Real tired. We went to a 9:45 showing, which means the movie probably started at 10:10, and the movie's over 2 hours long. So by the end of watching the credits, it was like 12:30.
Yeah, it was definitely midnight later.
Had to work the next day.
So yeah, we were all a little probably gassed at the end of it.
I was definitely. I'll be seeing this movie again.
Yeah, which might not have helped. You're right in how I was feeling maybe towards the end. But yeah, I don't know. I feel so indifferent at times on it because it's like I think I did go in really, really wanting to like this. This is one of the few, I guess, superhero movies for some reason that I went in thinking, probably with the James Gunn like flair of approval kind of thing on it, to be like, oh, I should probably enjoy this because I like all his other stuff, like you were saying.
And it's literally all of it for me. That's the thing too, is he has 100% track record.
Well, that's what. Okay, I agree.
That makes it hard.
What I think I do agree with what you said, but I think at the theater at the time, is you were like, James Gunn makes really good movies, and I do like a lot of them. This might be his worst movie.
Yeah, I still think I'd agree with that.
This might be his worst movie I've seen in a while, but it's like, there's other things that are worse. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there's definitely stuff in this where I kind of agree with what I saw, like in some reviews and things of,
man, this movie's divisive, dude. Yeah, there's so much going on in this movie. I love it. It's so fun.
There is a sense of the whole, we're going to toss in a joke at times where it's like, okay, we definitely all agreed that saw the movie where there was many moments that there was supposed, like a joke happens and you knew a joke happened and the theater is dead silent.
Yeah.
nobody's
garage door.
Like, yeah, just nothing. It couldn't have been more quiet at that time. So that's brutal when there was a decent amount of those moments for me.
Yeah.
Or I just sat there and I was like, I can tell it's supposed to be funny. It's not that funny. All right, on to the next thing. And then they're still doing another joke, and it's like...
Well, that's kind of James Gunn's thing, is rapid fire. And, you know, some of them aren't going to stick, but a lot of them usually stick.
So, like, even watching Suicide Squad, not every joke hits. There's times where I was like, okay, I get it. But then there's some that I was like, that's really funny. Yeah. I really like that. That got me.
Anything with the shark, dude.
Yeah, like... yeah, they got a lot of, like, just physical gags and things that they can do with that. But there was tons of moments in this where it was just like... not hitting. Here's something I definitely agree with that I saw. The scene with Lois and Superman in the room and the fights happening in the background. Like, the Justice Gang is fighting the anomaly thing.
The colorful thing.
Straight up could not focus on what was being said. I actually don't know what conversation was happening there, and I think it was a pretty, like, important conversation that they're having. But literally, I'm distracted by the bit. Is that the point? It's like...
I think, to me, the way I took that, and I don't remember what they talked about either, but I kind of chalked this up to being a little tired, because I don't remember any of their conversations. I remember the interview thing, but I think that's only because I saw it in the trailer, and I was just fucking tired as hell. But I chalked that up to being like, you know, I did like that intro sequence of, it's been 300 years since metahumans have existed. It's been 30 years since an alien man landed here, whatever, and it goes on from there.
3 years.
And I like that because that's a good way to just exposition dump just right out the gate. Like, hey, we're in superhero universe. It should be similar just to being in the middle of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Even though it's not going to hit the same way as that. It's just not when you don't have that. But it at least gives us a good jumping on point, and I liked it. That shit happens. Like, and I think I get this from watching Invincible a lot, because Invincible is very much like, we're a cartoon, we're jumping into a superhero world, everything exists, and that's just how it is. Like, they treat it like, I mean, it is like a job. Like, if it is not a world-ending thing, and the strongest being in the universe does not have to be involved with it, granted, it's right outside their fucking window. But it doesn't seem like anything's escalating. I think it's supposed to come off of like, okay, the Justice Gang is dealing with this. We should.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the framing of it and everything was like, I could not focus on the scene. I couldn't, and I was like, I'm trying to think of what was being said, and I'm like, I don't know, but I do remember that. But it's like, I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about the fact that I can't remember the scene in question and what was being said. All I remember is the dumbass fight in the background that is kind of cool, kind of just happening. So like, that might be my tagline for like a lot of this movie. It's like, yeah, it's kind of cool, but it's just kind of happening.
It's distracting.
Yeah, like there's stuff to look at and it looks really cool. Can't say I'm super invested in a lot. There are a couple good like moments of, I like the idea of the parents being like the whole, not his Krypton parents, but his Earthworld parents. How their whole thing when he comes back to them and has a moment with his dad where he's like, we're not here to like tell you to be anything. We're only here to give you the tools to be the best you that you are. And it's like, I really like that. I think that hits home for probably a lot of parents and children and
James Gunn stuff.
And a good sentimental value of like, it doesn't matter what the message said. That's not you. You have not made yourself to be this. So you don't have to be that.
Yeah, you've lived your whole life not being
You made yourself to be the Superman that you are because you're a good person. And I do like the whole, like, being kind and having a good, happy, like, this is for good.
This movie is very optimistic.
Very, yeah.
And that's good stuff to see in nowadays times.
Yeah, but
things are
some of the emotional parts definitely lacked at times too.
Well, I think it's one of those things where they would have shined a lot more if this was a Superman movie, and there wasn't so much going on. It's so, and again, like I was saying before, and I was like praising it, not praising it, but I was like saying how it made sense, and like this does need to be a jumping on thing because you really have to kind of just kickstart this universe. But I think he just got a little bit big for his britches because he's just about to start filming for Peacemaker season 2. He's having to be the CEO of the whole company here. I think he's just got too much going on, and I don't think he had really the time to really focus on a movie this big and this big a scale with this much going on to really make it make sense. it's so hard to care a lot. And I will give the movie props. I still really cared about most of the characters in this movie, even though there's so many. But it's so hard to make you like really care and like really be invested with characters when you got this fucking many of them.
Yeah, you're jumping around. You're jumping around a lot.
And as the first movie, it's not even like we've had some movies where you've introduced them and then they came in, you get to see them for a little bit. But yeah, you could have hit home. And I loved what he did with Superman. This is my favorite Superman. I've never had a big tie to Superman, so I don't really care that much. I thought Man of Steel was really cool, and there's a lot of cool shit that happened in there, and Henry Cavill's really cool.
It's a very different Superman.
Yeah, but this Superman is like very wholesome and like, you know, optimistic, like I said.
You can just tell by the color palette.
And apparently from what all the comic book nerds say and the people that like really like Superman, like this is more what Superman is in the comics. He's very like symbol of peace and symbol of hope, and his whole like he's super cheesy. He says like, oh gosh, and like stupid shit like that. And then to some people they're going to hate that and it's going to come off really cheesy because it is cheesy. But I liked it and I thought it was, you know, exciting, and I like seeing him actually getting emotional. Let's talk about some more positive things that I really like. I think every single performance in this movie, except for maybe like Hawk Girl, I think it's all great. Everybody that was ever on screen, I was like, oh,
Hawk Girl's only on screen for like 5 minutes.
I know, but why I bring that up is because I was just like, I just don't really care or know what you're saying. Maybe it's because we just watched The Last of Us, and maybe that's why it's just
a little bit of something left over.
And I know what she can do because I actually like.
She was the good part.
Dina was probably like the shining thing.
She was actually like one of my more favorite parts of Last of Us.
Because we don't have to dive into that too much, but it's because she is the Ellie character.
They wrote her to be the good character.
Yeah. But so maybe that's why it bothered me. But I thought the performance is really good. I think that this movie looks amazing.
Yeah.
80 to 90% of the time. There's some CG stuff where I'm like, this looks dumb as hell. But the Fortress of Solitude that coming out of the ground and how it like twists out looks fucking awesome. The shots of him being in space. I thought that the CG looked really good most of the time.
It gets crazy
it gets so overwhelming, like the pocket universe and like floating in the atomic river. And
that part where I was just kind of like, this is sensory overload for me. Like, wow, this is crazy.
Those are the parts where like, and when it is 95% green screen, that's when it doesn't look as good. Like when you're mixing it in with like the real stuff.
I still thought it looked cool, but it was a lot. It
looked very Guardians, like when they're out doing anything in space.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, there's some shots that are so Guardians. It's not even funny. Like the prison area with all the that took me to Guardians quicker than anything else. Where I was like, dude, you just pulled the same. Like you have a set piece or a miniature or something. I don't know, but there's definitely like I came out saying it to Mayo and probably all you guys where it was like. I felt like I kept comparing it to all his other movies. And then in the end, I'm like, damn, Guardians is better in this way. Suicide Squad's better in that way. This one's like, I don't know. It kind of does feel shortchanged on all the areas that it shouldn't be. And it definitely does some things right. But yeah, I don't know. I always come back to being like, maybe it's just my indifference with superheroes these days. I don't know.
I think that most of the action scenes are pretty good too.
Then
that goes into them looking good. Like when Superman is fighting stuff and beating people up and doing things, he does do the like save people to the last nick of time like thing where like he's carrying the dinosaur, saving the squirrel.
Yeah.
Or which actually this scene I loved when I was watching it in the trailer, and I still loved it in the movie, but you know I'd seen it a dozen times. Is him being Superman and saving the one little girl from the propane tanks. I was like, that's some Superman shit. That's cool. I like that.
What's funny, I bet I would have liked this if I'd never seen the trailer. I would have liked it more because the trailer shows a lot.
It shows it as a different movie. There's no comedy in any of the trailers.
Yeah,
for the most part.
And it definitely shows a lot of, I think, the good parts.
Yeah, it shows too much.
And I was like, damn, if I didn't see the shot of him doing the twirling laser eyes, that would have been way sicker to see in the movie when it happened. I would have been like, oh, now we're fucking around. Like
it was kind of cool when he was flying and they were all on him, and then he started spinning.
That part was like that's the thing is
there's shit like that.
I kept trying to remember like what were all the action moments that I hadn't already seen in the trailer, and there's like a couple more that were like, all right, that was sick, but
not much.
I definitely wanted more. He gets his ass beat a lot in this movie, that's for sure. But it picks up. I think the last part definitely tries to shove in a lot of stuff at the end.
This one's kind of weird because I liked and I didn't like the whole Definitely not Israel and Palestine countries.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely not Israel and Palestine countries. Which that whole thing, and I know that's like the crux of like, other than like Lex just hating Superman, that's like the crux of like world powers and like what's happening in the world and what the problem is.
Suicide Squad does that. That's actually like a whole plot line of not Israel Palestine, but like tossing in a little bit of a political something in there. It is the whole thing of that movie comes back down to Starro the Conqueror is in this. They've been testing. They've been someone got a hold of an alien at some point, and it's been being held on this island in Corto Maltese. And so the whole point of the Suicide Squad mission is they're supposed to go there and destroy it because that could bring bad things politically for everyone in the world. Until they get there, and then they realize the scientist dude is like, "Oh, you're not here to like destroy this for the greater good. You're only here to destroy your part of it, America's part."
Yeah.
So then it comes all the way back to like, we're just covering up the fact that America
started
it. We actually got it. We've been poking and prodding it. We put it on someone else's island, said, we'll do it from afar so nobody really knows. And then once push comes to shove and things get out of hand, wipe our hands clean and be like, wasn't us.
Yeah.
And so it definitely hits on some stuff of like just being like, yeah, the American government just has done some shady shit itself too and been fucking weird and gets its hands invested in things at times. But
and where I was going with that is that even like I didn't like it because I think it was just kind of distracting to the movie. But I guess they got to have something to base it around for the overarching of everything. That's not just in like how Lex is using his resources and what he's doing, like influencing the president and stuff. I thought it was kind of fun because I was wondering the whole time you're sitting there, so you see in the trailer the kid lifting up the flag and saying Superman, and like everybody's yelling Superman, and it ends up coming off as a comedic beat. But I did like that. Okay, how the fuck is Superman going to get here and fix this in time? He is in the middle of still fighting bad Superman.
Yeah.
And then it just ends up being the Justice Gang, and Guy Gardner's in there, who is Nathan Fillion, which Nathan Fillion's fucking awesome in this.
He was good, I liked him.
Same with Mr. Terrific. I don't know. Everybody seems to be really on this dude's dick about this because he got like killed off in an X-Men movie.
I thought it was cool, yeah.
I don't know. People seem really high on him in all the reviews I've watched. I'm like, okay, I thought he was fine.
I've seen some reviews.
He did some cool shit. Yeah. I didn't think his performance was great. I don't know. And I guess that's what he's supposed to be doing, but he's very like serious and like to the point. And I don't know, his performance, I don't even think it's his performance. It's definitely the way he's directed, but just like, I don't know, I just didn't really care about the character that much other than watching him do shit because his powers, and not powers, but
he's definitely a main player too. Like they make him.
He's the second superhero.
Yeah, he gets like a lot of screen time. A lot.
More than Nathan Fillion, way more than Hawkgirl.
He even has his own dedicated fight scene. Just him.
Yeah,
and it's pretty sick.
Dude, when they're like coming out of the portal and he like jumps over somebody by grabbing one of his little floating orbs and like uses it to leap over, I was like, that's cool. It's so simple and dumb, and it wasn't like a crazy action thing. It's just cool.
James Gunn loves a good throwable weapon, like or something that might have like kinetic properties.
The needle, or he's got damn, I can't think of another one actually. I'm really just thinking of that needle gun because I can't.
There's other stuff. The Suicide Squad has so many characters in it. Like there's just so much happening. But again, to the credit, like they did it. I love his thing where in the beginning of Suicide Squad, you start the movie with a Suicide Squad. And basically, all of them immediately get fucking smoked
so good.
Because they're the diversion team that was supposed to be getting smoked. So the real Suicide Squad now is fully clear to get ahead. And it was like,
what a great intro.
That's actually pretty fucking funny, and it's cool. And you actually still get time with all these other characters. Like you get at least the first 10 to 15 minutes ish with them.
Weasel, dude.
And who can't swim, so he immediately drowns.
But then he doesn't.
And then he's there on that. Yeah, exactly.
He's just horrifying.
But that dynamic, I don't know. Maybe the R rating was just helping him so much more at times.
Does.
But I do think it kind of does. He was able to land a lot more jokes with even just a nice use of the F word or something kind of can really land. Peacemaker as a character, I just think is so funny. Like I think John Cena's killing it. He's
perfect for that kind of character.
He's so jacked. He's the biggest dude ever, and he's just like he's too nice. He's so nice, and seeing him be like in that movie, he's like not the bad guy.
He's a piece of shit.
But he kind of takes a twist at the end where he's the covert inside guy that Waller was like, "Hey, by the way, you make sure that drive with all of our info on it never sees the light of day."
Yeah.
And he fucking has to kill. I forgot a lot of the plot where I was like, oh shit, he kills this dude.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's good.
And it's like a really good plot line though with, I love it, like Peacemaker, where they're like, dude's got the biggest Desert Eagle on planet fucking Earth, and then he puts a huge ass silencer on it. He's got a pistol that's like this fucking big, and he's pointing it right at you. And the guy who he's about to kill is just like, Peacemaker, huh? And it's like, anything for the greater good of America, keeping the peace in the world. It made so much sense where he's like, I'm keeping the peace, buddy. If this gets leaked, international warfare. So I'm keeping the peace in any way possible. And it's like, why does this just work so much better? Like, I don't know, but I'm definitely way more invested watching this with some serious stakes on the line, I guess, too, where there's just a lot going. I don't know. There's a lot more happening at times. Superman, maybe I'm just not as big of a fan as others in some of that regard, or I don't know.
I think Superman's hard to be a fan of, and I think that's what James Gunn was going for on this, because a lot of people's complaints with Superman is like, okay, so what does Superman do, and what can happen with him? Because he's just invincible.
He is like the ultimate guy. But it seems like,
this,
other than when Kryptonite's around. So.
Yeah, but in this, like, he can get beat up without Kryptonite.
Yeah, true.
Which is like part of the point, and it's apparently that's what comic. Or at least like Superman nerds, people that really like Superman, is more of what he is in the comics. Like, things can happen to him. He's not Goku. He's not. He's not.
There has
really
to
omnipotent.
Like there has to be something. You have to have some.
Yeah. So
anything.
It was kind of cool, and it definitely threw me off with the opening scene being him getting thrown into the Antarctic, because you would really think that'd be like a penultimate moment.
We don't even get to.
That was the intro.
I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of a moment where they drop you in and they're like, he has just lost his first fight.
Yeah.
I want to see that fight.
Yeah.
Why didn't I get to see that fight?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, of course. I thought that Ultraman whatever was kind of lame. There were a lot of theories that it was going to be Henry Cavill under that suit.
Oh my god.
But it ended up just being Dave Cornstalk.
Now
Henry Cavill wouldn't have really made sense.
No, but that would have got me. If they pulled that off and Henry Cavill was in there, I immediately would have been like, been like, this is getting more interesting now. Yeah. I might be a little more invested in this.
But you got to think about the ramifications of that and getting confusing with multiverse stuff and things that piss people off already. And I think what they could have gotten away with is just like not saying it was
I shouldn't,
like, just for fun.
I shouldn't be the guy that says like go for it in that way, but I want it to be like that because now I just want like it just felt too
big.
No, it felt too safe. I think.
Oh, for it to be Dave Cornsweet under it?
No, like the whole movie in general. Feels too safe. It feels like
it doesn't go out.
It doesn't want to. It's like either worse, like you were saying, maybe they're. This is why I don't like saying this. Is like, oh well, don't worry, it's a setup movie. The next one's better.
Yeah,
and that's like, I'm not shitting on Dune, but that kind of had that element where Dune 1 I saw and I was like, oh, I can tell this is a setup movie, but it's like the damn near the best setup movie you've ever seen.
Yeah,
because once you see part 2, it makes part 1 even better and makes so much more sense. And I guarantee you on rewatch, you'll love part 1 like a lot more. Maybe this happens. Maybe
it won't be on the same level as Dune.
It won't.
But yeah.
It won't. Party time. But in the end of... Good Lord.
Turn it up.
Fuck.
Just turn it off. We're gonna wrap up soon.
Yeah, I'm looking right at it. What was I saying?
Just talking about how it's a setup movie and how that...
Oh, yeah. I mean, so... Yeah, that doesn't give it the credit to not have... I guess just more of stuff that would have been cooler, I guess. I don't know. There's too much. I think there's a little bit too much going on, a little too many characters at times. I still think the stuff with Superman is cool. Like anything with Superman, I was into. And I was all about, and I wanted just more. But every time it felt like we'd get more, then we cut to freaking Lex Luthor. Or then we cut to Guy Gardner. What did you think
about Nicholas Hoult?
I thought he did the best.
You seem to fucking love him.
I thought... he did the best with what he was given, maybe script-wise. I don't really think he's that good. Like, I don't really like this Lex Luthor that much. I don't think he's that menacing. There's one scene that he does something that I was like, oh, that's kind of sick, where he, like, actually does, like, a Russian roulette thing with the guy, and he smokes a dude. And the only reason he's killing this guy is because it's a dude who's helped... he's a guy who gave Superman food once.
Yeah, and
that is it.
I liked that too because it's like Superman knows his name and like that's showing that Superman's like a man of the people.
Yeah, that's probably like the highlight moment I think for him where it really tries to go to a point of like, ooh, this guy's not really messing around. But then you get a moment where he's knocking the pencil cups off the table and is like It's like, what is this dude? Like a 5-year-old?
Yeah,
like I don't know.
And well, yeah, but they make him come off as that. It's like, oh, I hate Superman
they do.
because he hasn't even. But I think that's the point. I don't say.
Isn't he supposed to be like the smartest guy too? Isn't he like a genius?
Yeah, but it kind of. I don't know enough to really speak on that.
I'm gonna say I don't know how everyone else feels about it, but I definitely am not as much of a fan of the whole like. So he's researched Superman enough that he has all these moves that he can just say. And so anytime Ultraman is fighting Superman, you're also intermittently getting cut in with Lex Luthor going A1, B2, 5,
it's
D7.
Supposed to come off as like a video game.
And it was
whooping his
ass.
It was
I don't know how I feel about that. I
didn't love it either too when I was watching it in the moment.
Yeah, I think it kind of overstayed its welcome. I think after the first time I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool concept. But then when he did it a lot, and it was like, I don't care as much to hear Lex Luthor say D12, D12, D12. I want to see Ultraman going, and they like.
It should have been more of a thing where like they show. I don't know how you do it, but show like a montage of like Ultraman learning, or maybe just being downloaded into his brain. He's like, Superman does this when this happens because I've watched this footage this many times, and you get that downloaded in there because you're already a creative.
Honestly, that's exactly what it should be. If you're the smartest guy,
so you can just counteract everything Superman does.
You would have made an AI system that could machine learn fucking Superman's moves in how 3 years time you've had of researching him at least. You could have done it. You could have. So that's I don't know. It's just some of these weird choices that just didn't really work for me at times. There's James Gunn has something about also weird scenes with a character where you're just seeing big tits. That was in Suicide Squad.
Everybody said that.
I rewatched Suicide Squad. I think it's the same girl that is in Superman that just shows up out of nowhere for a one scene, and all she does is come in and go, I got your papers.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa. Like, maybe I'm the bad guy here because the male gaze is just drawn to it, and I'm the sicko. But like, trust me when I say it was distracting even in any other moment where it's like, whoa.
It's right at the end of the movie, so we all come out of the movie and we're like, okay, so what was up with the weird tit jumping thing?
He specifically puts this chick in just to bounce around, and there is no other reason she's in it, and that's just one thing where it stuck out so much that I was like, that's weird.
I will
weird.
So I will say there is some context to this. Not that it like fixes it or makes it better or anything. It's just saying that it's not necessarily a James Gunn thing. I mean, I guess it kind of is because he put it in the movie, but it is from other stuff. So that is, and I forget her first name, but that's a character name. Her last name's Tessmacher, and she has always been that kind of tropey, like blonde girl, like in the older Superman movies, where there's just this dumbass bimbo girl that follows around Lex or like whatever. Because also the other one that follows around Lex is also a Tessmacher.
Nice.
And she's always just kind of got her tits out as like hot girl, like doing nonsense. So it's supposed to be a reference to that, but 90% of people aren't going to really.
It doesn't.
Like, what is that?
I'll say, as someone who didn't know that, like, oh, this is a character.
I didn't know that watching.
It's like I don't know this going in. That does not register. It doesn't register as like, oh, that's that character type. No. I was like, oh, that's just big tits.
It's for a very specific group of people, and I didn't know either. I found that out after I watched the movie. Yeah. So like I had the same experience. Yeah, like I think I was the one who said that when he came out of the movie theater. I was okay, so
I only had that shit reaffirmed when I watched Suicide Squad, and I was like, oh. I was like, that's her. I think that's her. Holy shit.
They didn't let him do that in Marvel or in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, Guardians couldn't pull that. No. We got enough of Zoe Saldana. She's already pretty hot.
Yeah. I think we can wrap up there. I mean, I like this movie. I'm going to be going to see this again. No. Just so I can get another experience in theaters, or like I'm awake and I can just
I'll watch it again
absorb it and
when it's on streaming. Yeah, probably.
I mean, that's the beauty of having a movie pass. Is like I don't have to go out and like pay for another ticket to go see it. I can just go watch it, and maybe I'll take Sydney to go see it if she wants to go. Yeah, we could wrap up there. Let us know if you've seen either of these movies. I'm sure you've probably seen Superman. I think that's going to be pretty popular. Not as popular as I think that like I initially was thinking that it was going to be. F1 apparently is looking to be one of the top movies of the summer. So if you haven't seen that, go see that 100%. If you're into superhero movie things at all, I would give Superman a recommend. Go watch it, experience it in the theater. jump into the start of a new universe. I want this to have some good success. I want to see where it could go and what could happen. So I would say go see that and go see F1 for sure. That one's just a shoe, and that's just like classic cliche summer blockbuster. Go out and enjoy that. Go get the fam, get a bucket of popcorn, sit down, enjoy Brad Pitt looking all 62 and still jacked somehow.
Yeah.
And watch some cool F1 races. But with that being said, give us a like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think if you have seen them and if you're going to go see them. And have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.